Welcome to everybody in the podverse and all those sleeping in the cloud. Welcome to the Blacklog, where we talk black about TV, film, music. Sometimes we just digress into conversation and drink tea, which is recommended by 3 out of 4 cardiologists. I have ice in mine today. My name is Rod. I like to say hello to my cohort, my co-host, my brother, my fellow bison, and many other things. Ryan, what up, man?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
Not much, man. Not much.
Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, like, and share. The keyword share. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star rating. And if you don't like our podcast, well, oh well. Still give us that 5-star rating and just leave it there. And I want to give a shout out to eCustom Creations, found at etiffanycreations.com.
For all your apparel needs.
Yes, for all of them.
They sell drawers. They do. They sell drawers anymore. They got them all. That is apparel. That is apparel.
You can get drawers with Howard University on them.
That is
and
nice.
And Wakanda, if you like.
See that? I just said you get drawers there. You didn't have to. You didn't have to put that image in my head, but it's there. It's there. Drawers with Howard and Wakanda on them. All right.
And I do have to say this. I was on a bike ride today. I gotta point this out. I saw this dude. This is older guy. He's probably early 60s. Black guy, bald head. Man, the sun was shining on my way back from my ride, and I just happened to be coming up to him and passing. Bruh, the shine on that brother's head was so much that for about 3 seconds, I thought half of his head was covered with pollen.
It's that shea butter. I bet he using that shea butter.
And then when I got closer, I was like, "Oh no, that's just the sun shining on his head." I was like, "Bruh, you let all that pollen get on your head like that?"
He high on sunshine. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. He getting his was it B12? Is that B12?
I guess.
Vitamin D from the sun or something like that.
Oh yeah,
he getting his vitamin D.
Is it vitamin D? It might be B12. Either way, there is a vitamin that you get from the sun.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Hey, y'all. This is the Blacklog. Like I said, we talk TV, film, and music, but, and we've been doing Different World, which is great. We're in the second season of Different World with Debbie Allen.
Taking a quick break from it, though.
Because he reads. I don't. He read something.
I really don't read. I just kind of came across it. I came across this article about The Wiz, and the article was basically.
Let me tell you about the world and the way things are.
If you're watching this and you don't know what The Wiz is, all I can tell you is just go Google it. I mean, I'm really not about
explain what it is.
But,
go ahead, would you?
But there was an article recently where a dude was basically saying, "Hey, we need to go ahead and just, black people need to just come around and just say that The Wiz wasn't a good movie."
A lot of people were upset about that. A lot of people.
Why? 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 I mean, I'm like, bro, do you just want clicks? Like, I mean, there is no one. I don't think there's anyone who thought that The Wiz was going to somehow wind up at the Oscars. I mean, bruh, and wait a minute. First of all, unless I missed something after I clicked continued reading, as you do on these articles now, I think it was like 3 paragraphs, bruh. And for some reason, he even just sideswiped Tyron Turner unnecessarily for his role in Belly. I was like, what's that all about? Like, bro, it was a very unnecessary article, bro. That just, I mean, I don't know if it was because the it's out on Broadway, I think, and you just decided I need to get some clicks or whatever. But I was like, come on, bro. Like, yes, bro. We realize that someone who was born in the 2000s probably won't like this movie. The CGI is not going to be what you expected it to be. If there was CGI,
the CGI,
which I don't think there
CGI.
was,
That was not CGI.
Yeah, it was like sparkles, if anything. Like what are you expecting from a movie that was made in the 1970s?
That was practical. What they call it? They call it practical effects, right there, my friend. There was no CGI in this film. Let's get that right.
I mean, it just. I wanted to go back. I wanted to go back and look at the Wiz because I'm like,
that is why we're here.
Y'all not gonna badmouth the Wiz. We gonna badmouth the Wiz.
I mean, yeah.
You like that, huh? I snuck that in there, huh?
Get these people mad at you. These people mad at you. The Wiz, based off the book by Frank L. Baum and the movie starring Judy Garland. It was turned into a musical. And in 1975, it was turned into a Tony Award winning musical called The Wiz.
The Black Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz with an edge to it.
The Black Wizard of Oz.
With an urban twist.
The Black Wizard of Oz.
I hate you. The script is written by William F. Brown, but the music part, all the wonderful songs, are written by Charlie Smalls. It stars. Let's state this straight. There's only one person who made it from Broadway to the stage. From Broadway to the movie. And Hollywood said, we need big names. Mind you, also, Berry Gordy was producing it, so I guess he was kind of like, I gotta do something. And Diana Ross plays the role of Dorothy. Except Dorothy isn't a little girl now, and I don't think she could have been because Diana was 40 at the time, so she really couldn't be. But she played a teacher from what I thought was
24-year-old teacher.
From what I thought was Harlem. I don't remember her age being said, but
it said 24-year-old. I remember that.
Oh wow.
It's just something that stood out because I couldn't remember the Wiz, so naturally I kind of thought that they were looking at her as a little girl, kind of like from Dorothy from the Wizard of Oz. And when they said 24 and then they said teacher, I was starting to be reminded of the movie because I hadn't seen it in so long.
Okay, yeah, I always knew it's like, because everybody was very shocked that Stephanie Mills was not cast, and as the Scarecrow, and I think I'm pretty sure Diana had a lot to do with it.
You said Stephanie Mills cast as the Scarecrow. That's what you said.
Oh, I'm sorry, Stephanie Mills was Dorothy in the stage play, and she did not make it to the movie since Diana Ross has a role. And I guess I was saying I was jumping the gun about the Scarecrow part because the Scarecrow was cast Michael Jackson as the Tin Man, Nipsey Russell, and the Cowardly Lion as played on the Broadway stage. It was Ted Ross. Ted Ross, who would be in Different World as one of our professors. First season, I think he comes
with
back
the squiggly mustache.
That's what Auntie M. We have two black sitcom mamas in here. From That's My Mama, Teresa Merritt, who plays Auntie M, and as Eva Lean, the Wicked Witch of the West, played by Mabel King. And let me say, Mabel was scary.
Yeah.
Mabel was mean.
I had a lot of
as mean as that white woman was in the original Wizard of Oz. Mabel Lee scared the hell out of me. Huh?
No, the watching The Wiz again was also a chance for me to face my fears because there was a lot in The Wiz that scared the hell out of me when I was little. And might I add, seeing it again, it was no different. And I'm not,
Let's get.
and I am not shaking for effect. I just letting y'all know I am not shaking because try to be effective. No, just start with it, man.
Written by Joel Schumacher, who wrote Sparkle, Car Wash, DC Cab, and St. Elmo's Fire. He's written other things, but I wanted to show those highlights. He
DC
also
Cab.
he also sunk the third Batman Robin, Batman Forever, and Batman Robin.
Yeah.
Note, I was at Warner Brothers during that time, and I saw George Clooney on the lot one day, and I said, "Hey, man, it wasn't your fault." It wasn't your fault. It is directed by Sidney Lumet. Directed 12 Angry Men, Playhouse 90, which was a big show back in the day. There's this big movie called Failsafe that was supposed to be based on the Cuban Missile Crisis. He did Serpico, Murder on the Orient Express, Network, which was an Oscar-winning film, and The Family Business, which was a movie with Robert De Niro, Michelle Pfeiffer, and somebody who played their child. They were a mob family on the run. I just thought I'd mention that because I always thought that was an interesting movie that didn't do anything. I think we all know the story of the Wizard of Oz or the Wiz. I mean, I think right, or maybe not. You'll get it as we go along. Like I said, I thought set in Harlem all these years, but it was set in Brooklyn, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. As we said, Dorothy is a elementary school teacher, and it's Thanksgiving Day. Now, Harlem has just been hit is covered in snow right now. And everyone is showing up to the apartment. This Thanksgiving Day, everybody got their little things, everybody coming out the cold.
That was a nice Thanksgiving, man.
Hold on.
A nice Thanksgiving, man.
That apartment, that's the biggest apartment. That apartment was humongous. Humongous. Before I say that, you know who are the greatest pimps in the world? Black aunties. Because Auntie M was pimping Dorothy, was pushing Dorothy on that dude, that light-skinned dude at the door.
Yeah. That was a nice though. That was a nice Thanksgiving, bro. Like I was like, man, that's a nice Thanksgiving dinner right there. Hell of a ham they were cooking too.
Ham, Auntie M coming out with a turkey.
And that was a ham. That wasn't no ham you buy from like Heavenly Ham. That was a whole ham, bro, that he cooked. I mean, it was skin and all, bro. It was a whole ham.
Auntie M came out there with it was a ham, but she came out with turkey. And she was singing her song. She was singing her song, Don't Lose That Feeling We Had. Turkey.
I couldn't even pay attention to the songs, bro, except for two of them. There were only two songs in that whole movie that I could really tell.
We need to get this straight. This spot, you saw the exterior. Let's also get it straight. M and Uncle Henry's daughter show up with their newborn, and the whole family kind of like waiting. I guess it's some big. They haven't seen her in a big setting like this. Everybody's excited, and Dorothy is playing kind of. She just trying to be busy, so she ain't gotta be social. She don't want nobody pushing up on her.
With her nice soft fro.
Is it a fro? It's trying to be a fro.
It was like a little permy fro. A little permy fro going on right there.
Let me state this. There were 5 people at the children's table, 21 at the big table, and 3 watching TV on the side.
Did you notice some dude, whoever was sitting next to Dorothy, poured her
some wine.
A pretty big cup of wine.
Know what I want to do? Like I said, black aunties are the greatest pimps ever.
I was sitting over there like, why don't you just drop a pill in there and make her fall asleep?
No, why don't you just take her glass and put the bottle in its place? You want a little wine, Dorothy? Come on, baby. I was like, damn. Yeah, he was. Yes, he was. And ain't nobody saying nothing.
The Wiz seemed like it should have been PG-13.
Little bit. Because we had a little couple. I don't know why they didn't think nobody wasn't gonna see their
All
two
right, I
chairs
forgot about
empty.
them. They was out in the back just getting it on in the back. I was like, wow.
Him is like, get your ass outside. When she even said that, it was just fear. It was just fear. So my thing is, if they in there doing that, one of them is true blood family. The other one is just visiting. Now I don't know if the brother, it mustn't, because if it's the
Yeah.
girl, I know the family gonna be like, uh huh. Everybody gonna be, what you doing, my cousin?
Yeah.
But yeah, they went in the other room and M said, get in there, get back in there. Everybody laughed at him for what it was worth. It was funny. I did. Did we mention Uncle Henry's lazy ass? Uncle Henry with this
I
with
don't
this
remember. I don't remember. The only characters, like, you know me with characters and names.
with the
Like,
checkerboard.
outside of Dorothy and, you know, the main folks' eyes and the lion and all those good people and the monkeys, he kind of.
He just kind of
You
floated.
you losing me with the arbitrary characters like Uncle Ben and Auntie Tom and all the people.
Dude, well, M
I know the people when I see them.
after everybody left, M started talking about the daughter and their daughter and stuff like that.
I do remember that.
Well, what
Yes.
about Dorothy? In time. M go in the kitchen, say these dishes ain't gonna wash themselves, and then she started going into pimp mode. She's like,
And then she just started dogging kindergarten teachers, bro. I'm like, what's up with the side swiping of elementary school teachers? Like and you know, sending
you need to
gotta-
talk to some.
You got to go
you
to
need talk
high school. You got to
You
go
need
to
to talk
high
to
school.
some older kids. That's what she needs to say. You need to talk to some older kids.
I'm like, yeah. I was like,
But that ain't the part that got to me. In essence, she was saying, Dorothy, you need to get the hell out of my house so me and my husband could get naked in here. Because that's what she was telling.
hey, and you know what? I wrote that down. I said, sounds like I'm reading it too. Sounds like Nanny is kicking her out. That's exactly what it sounds like.
You know you never been south of 125th Street. I know. I'm just saying, you need to meet some new people. And I think
Translation, you need to get the hell out of my house.
it wasn't no translation because at one point she said, you need to move out. She said, I was like, damn. I was like, you doing this on Thanksgiving? You couldn't wait till Black Friday, M? Saturday? Damn. So Emma dropped that little bit of news on her. Said, I guess she wanted to let it know, like me and your Uncle Henry like to, get free around here.
Yeah,
You cramping our style. I do want to note that place at one point in time, she gives the address. I want to get back to 433 Prospect Place, and I happen to look at that address. It's in Brooklyn, 4 bedrooms, 4 bath, 2.5 million.
Wow. That sucker was not costing that much during the whiz.
Not in '78. It is now a $2.5 million 4 bedroom, 4 bathroom house. Turns out there's a snowstorm, and Toto
Rolled out.
his little
Toto would have been out there.
Let me tell you something. That dog right there, Kirby. Kirby, look at the window at the cold. The hell is wrong with you? Look, I ain't going out there.
Hey, guy rest his soul, Trey, my bulldog. He'd have run out there in that snow, and he'd come right back in. I promise you, as big as that bulldog was, you would have never seen him move as fast as he would have. Except there are 2 times where where that bulldog moved fast. When he hit that hot asphalt, and when he hit that snow.
Let's say Dorothy runs out after Toto. And another thing I gotta give, I don't know if she was the greatest actress in the world, but I tell you one thing. All throughout this movie, if anybody could scream, it was Diana Ross. Like, she had some horrifying, hellacious screams.
Yeah.
Like,
She did.
like you really thought something was wrong. Like, she could have made herself a nice living in horror movies with that scream. It was kind of tripping me out.
She could have had a little Vanessa Williams type career.
She could have. Now she already had Oscar nomination.
And then we got that incredible CGI that only we like, and obviously my man who wrote that article didn't like, I guess, because he was hating on it with the snow tornado.
Oh my God,
Bro, so for real. How you write an article hating on the Wiz? Like, how do you wake up and say, you know what? I think I'm gonna write a hit piece on Big Bird and Sesame Street.
It's a little
It's the same. It's the equivalent, bro. It's the same thing.
different.
How about Ernie and Bert? You are in my crosshairs this week.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what happened. That is what happened. um, like I said, Dorothy is swept up in the snowstorm, and we see the snow funnel, and a black woman's hand is holding it, and suddenly it's leaning, and she blows it. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't understand why she does this. Like,
I didn't really get that in the beginning.
I didn't get like
I was like, you know what? It works, I guess. So
it works.
We gonna roll with it.
But a part of me was like, why would you do that? You know she was in there. Why would you do that?
We're gonna go ahead and roll with that.
Either way, Dorothy crashes through this electronic sign, Oz. And
Yeah,
then
she
we
did.
hear,
That was like a. I mean, let's be honest. That was kind of a big crash, bro.
it was a big crash, and she woke up in a sandbox. Toto, screaming Toto with blood curdling scream, and then you hear
And this is where my first set of fears come.
Toto,
Those little black hands,
Toto, Toto,
bruh.
Toto.
When them little black hands came out, the Velcro, it was like it was back in what year did that movie come out?
78.
Yeah, it was like 78 or 79, bro. I was looking at it like, oh Lord, what?
What the hand is? Toto, Toto, Toto.
Creepy, bro. Oh, that creeped me out.
Um,
People came out the walls, bro. I was facing my fears, bro.